Hello and welcome back to Kaiserreich. So I've just panned over to Europe for a bit, and have noticed that I believe the Germans ever so slightly are winning. You can see the Republic has crossed. I don't know what this river is actually called, but I believe they made headway in the SRI, the Socialist Republic of Italy, and you also have a landing here by the Kingdom of France, or whatever they're called, National France, French Republic in this game. Dude, I've seen so many different National Frances recently, I lose track. Blessed social conservative Brazil, as opposed to the Empire of Brazil, which I've seen several times now. Alright, well, we could get involved in all this, but doing so, like, we'd have to get involved on the international side, even though we kind of don't want to. Just because I don't think they're winning at the moment, and we don't want either side to become too strong. So we could start the war by invading Canada, because that should be a fairly... okay, they might actually have more divisions than us, but it should be a fairly soft target compared to other targets we could pick, because currently we're not actually at full war readiness yet. We're still, like, gearing up and stuff, so we gotta pick our targets carefully if we're gonna get involved. Yeah, if we do get involved, we should, honestly, we shouldn't get involved in any of this, I think. I don't have no clue how this happened, but I'm guessing it's, Portugal intervening on the side of... Nope. It doesn't make much sense. Okay. Well, for some reason, Portugal controls, Aragon. Yeah. Or Aragon, yeah. So, yeah, we shouldn't get involved in the Spanish Civil War just because I don't want either side to win, or I don't want to accelerate the victory of either side. If we were going to get involved, we would get involved on the CNT-FAI's side, just to prolong it. Because, strategically speaking, I mean, as horrible as it is, strategically speaking, the best choice is to bleed Europe dry at the moment, if we seek to liberate them. But of course, that's going to come at the cost of many, many lives, so we might not want to do that. I think we should, yeah, we should seriously consider that war with Canada. We're gonna get a lot of more manpower now when we get when we get women in the armies as well. Which is gonna give us a significant advantage over at least the Entente, and to an extent some of these guys. I don't know if these they've got working women, but that's actually 3%. What? That's actually a lot. But it doesn't look like the British have women serving in the military, which is also strange. But we will in not too long. How come they get 3% with working women, and we get only 1% with a rebel girl? I probably should click details, because I was going to ask a question about that. That's Emancipation for All, there's Rebel Girl. As war wears on, we find young women in small numbers attract to the uniform. Yeah, so... Wearing it, we mean. I mean, you don't have to... Don't make that joke, you can just say what you mean. By allowing them to serve on the front lines, we can show our commitment to the equality and progress of women in New America, yeah. Okay, so we get... Holy shit! Oh yes, women's liberation. Hell yeah, with the men dying on the front lines, it fell to the women to run the factories, build the munitions, and feed our revolution. That's to say nothing for the many nurses, pilots, and female Red Guard members who gave their all. There we go. That's the population, a recruitable population modifier we want. Eritrea revolts. Ethiopia's only gain in the Weltkrieg. Yeah, so Eastern Africa here is imploding. Sudan breaking free. That's an interesting flag. It's actually kind of cool. It for some reason it just, I don't know, it looks African with the like the lions and stuff. The red, black, and then a different color on the other side there. Because this like 3-color thing looks almost like a European flag flag tradition, while this to me, I don't know, for some reason just seems more authentically African. I don't know. Like seeing the actual African culture a bit represented in the flag. Could maybe then put some more men in the Great Lakes Army here. Their goal is only to push out, take Toronto, and then hold by Sudbury and just not move anymore. Because this stuff out here, Northern Ontario. Sorry to anyone who lives in. Also, I said that in a very Canadian way. Sorry to anyone who lives in Sudbury or Thunder Bay or any of the towns out here, like fucking Moose Factory or wherever that is. I don't even know where that is, but to anyone who lives there. But this territory is basically useless in this game. It's just hard to fight through. It's wide open. It's just forest and cold as hell. So especially in January, we're not going to attack them in January. We're going to wait until more favorable weather, and then we're going to try to attack. Let's see, we got naval factories, so we should make even more ships. I got some excellent suggestions for ship classes, or names for the ships. Especially the, because we're naming the carriers after people at the moment. Except for the Solidarity, which was built during the wartime, at least in the first playthrough we did. And, oh my god, I just realized something. I was meant to put end cards in the last video, and I forgot. Because in the whole video I'm like, oh, you can check, like, you'll find a link to that at the end of the video. No, you won't, because I forgot. Let's see. We've got a bunch of submarines coming. I haven't actually checked how many we have yet. We should probably, we've got naval experience, we should probably design something new. Illinois class, fast battleship. Is that the, yeah, that's the most recent fast battleship we've got, and we didn't actually research radar yet. This is probably too heavy. Actually, what's the speed of our, of the Reed class? It's 26 knots. Actually, that's fine. So we gotta get the fast battleships, we'll load them up to the point where they are at 26 knots. Because we are going to be rolling with, we're gonna be rolling with these guys next to the, or with the, hold on. Which armor is this? 350mm belt. Yeah, that should be that one. But yeah, we're gonna be rolling with fast battleships and carriers next to each other, essentially. Is the plan. I think that's a workable strategy. I might be wrong. I also kind of want air reconnaissance, though. Like most ships, most modern, or most World War II ships, like battleships and cruisers and stuff, carried float planes and stuff. Which they would launch to perform recon. Like, they would carry maybe 4 almost, and they would all be launched by catapult. And then recovered later on. So maybe we should get one of those. Gives more detection. Actually, no, we'll keep that on the cruisers, I think, because they're going to be the ones who are actually spotting. But then the Illinois class, fuck, I forgot to save it. There we go. And we'll do more light attack. Just because it becomes very expensive to put on. Like, if you look at this. It's already a very expensive ship, 15,000, but If I put... Actually, I can't. Never mind. Fuck yeah, dude. Light attack. This is all good. We do want to wait until the radar, though. Which, why have I not researched that yet? Oh, because I'm doing it, but it's just taking a while. Let's make... In that case, let's honestly just start another read class. They don't have radar either. We can, in theory, just refit them. If need be. Like some components are easier to refit and take way less time, and some take a long time. Like, you don't want to refit armor, that's completely useless. So what are the Marines going to be doing then? They're probably going to be invading Newfoundland, if we're invading Canada. Is Newfoundland of any... Yes, it is. It is of strategic importance, because it doesn't actually connect to the mainland at all. So if the Canadians hold Newfoundland, they can use that to actually harass us. Even if they hold St. Pierre, they can harass us from there. Though actually, we might want to focus on the Caribbean with the Marines. Just because the... Like, we can take this after we've taken all this, I think. Because we're going to be at war with the Entente at large. Not just the Canadians. Where are the Marines even? So should we take, let's see, should we take Nassau first or Bermuda first? Bermuda would give us a greater range, naval range, and would, but Bermuda also is less of a threat than this stuff, because this stuff is only, like, it's in the same Z zone, oh my god, C zone, so that they can, like, jump from here to here very easily with Marines. Well, here they have to pass through two zones, which means that they need naval intelligence in all of those zones, which is harder to get than just one. I've decided we're gonna invade Nassau first. In fact, we can actually probably... Hold on. No, that's actually risky. We should do one at a time. I was thinking just setting up 4 invasion plans, maybe assigning a couple of Marines to them as well. Oh, sorry, infantry to them as well. But that's a bit risky. Probably better to just go straight ahead. Do we need coastal forts? I mean, it wouldn't hurt, but I don't see any specific need for them. We should probably actually set up some forts over here. Just in case we can't fight or attack there. Venezuela has capitulated to the Canadians. Still don't have radar yet, but if we, well, when we do get radar, I'm gonna start building that as well on the coast. AA gun, not gonna build that, because I'm actually not gonna outfit any of my troops with AA yet. In the future, maybe I'll outfit the Marines with AA. But not for now. Share the wealth. That's also good. Homes of the people, New America and all that. We're gonna keep going down towards the dust settles, just to get rid of war syndicalism. Yeah, we should also, since we're making medium tanks, we should also make medium SP artillery, like self-propelled. So yeah, we haven't started the construction or production of medium tanks yet, but we are going to. They're going to be the backbone of our troops, or of our army. Oh, sorry, of our tank divisions. What actually, let's see. What is this tank? So that's a... It's called an M5 here, but that's IRL, that's a Sherman, isn't it? And this looks like the Lee, but I'm not sure. This might be the Lee. This looks like almost like a T-34, kind of. Probably a bunch of like American tank designs that I'm just not at all familiar with. This guy looks fucking crazy. I'm digging the camo on them though. Actually no, let's assign that to... There we go. The Great Lakes God. Odds are the Canadian troops are all off serving in Europe. Or at least most of them. Like, I only see one division on the border here. So it should be a relatively easy invasion. Still don't have the radar. I'll just put them on convoys for now and I'll reassign them once I actually get the radar. What do we need for the like an extra research slot? There's red magic. We want that. Research slot must be then down one of these, maybe. Or do you just not get an extra research slot as a as the CSA? Who knows? We gotta do the second constitutional intervention before we actually start going for the syndicalists. Oh, sorry, for the monarchists. Now we get the skills for the extra skills for the generals. We don't get the godlike generals we had at the end of the Civil War, which were insanely good. We still get good generals though. Oh hell yeah, we can go from civilian economy to early mobilization. Let us. There's quite a lot of world tensions, so it makes sense.
Mother dear, I'm writing you from somewhere in France, hoping this finds you well. Sergeant says I'm doing fine, a soldier and a half. Here's the song that we all sing, it'll make you laugh. We're gonna hang out the washing on the Siegfried line. Have you any dirty washing, mother dear?
Getting to the point as America where industry is just... we have too much of it. I can't... like, look at this shit. I can't dedicate all this to construction. There's just way too much. So where do we need airports? We could use one up here. For Newfoundland and stuff. We've got one in Washington. Very enthusiastic singing. Also very loud. Probably shouldn't be louder than me though, considering what I'm seeing from the mixer. We should be good. I obsess way too much about audio. I know. But these guys, their job is essentially just to push out northwest. Not even take Alaska, we're just gonna push out to here. Take the important parts of British Columbia. We're gonna leave Alaska because as far as I know, the Canadians don't have any cores there, so taking the victory points isn't gonna make them capitulate. And we'll just wait for Alaska to fall back into the fold when they capitulate. Having nukes will be fun. What would we call our nuclear bombs? Or the nuclear bomb project? It would probably still be the Manhattan Project, maybe. Don't need any more troops over here. We could actually, honestly, extend this front line because it's currently very thick. Oh my god. I mean, considering I can, why not? Because we're not going to encounter basically any resistance. So, oh my god, they have a lot of forts across the entire line. They are quite paranoid about an invasion, yet have no troops. like on the border. Probably a focus that gives them the forts. I haven't played Canada in quite a while. Where are my radar installations, please? This is still a light tank, yep. We need to start making, let's see, armored division here. Actually, they could be, no, they could be named after motorized divisions, that's fine. We'll save the heavy, or the medium tanks for the actual tank divisions. This is just gonna be in the, this is never gonna be made, so but I want the model to be actually representative, so there we go. And we're going to duplicate. And we're gonna call this the medium tank division. And this will use the armored. Oh, it's 1940 El Centro earthquake. Always earthquakes in California and that area. Almost as if they sit on a dead center on a fault line or something. There we go, radio detection, decimetric radar, and get the encryption and decryption, very important. Let's start building the radars. Basically building them wherever I think we might need detection. Like that, and we're gonna keep expanding them in these areas as well. So that they slightly overlap, but not fully. The rise of women-only unions. Since the revolution, more and more women are entering into politics and technical fields. While in certain states, the transition to women's liberation has gone smoothly, in other places, the wave is impeded. A national poll has shown the number of women's-only unions have quadrupled in the past year. When interviewed, these women-only unions claim persistent systematic discrimination in the fields of science and civil service. In the aftermath of this release, the planned Women's Caucus was cancelled. As the nation begins to debate the ethical applications of women's liberation, Jack Reed has settled the debate by decrying both women's-only unions and the systemic discrimination, arguing that there are people to blame on both sides for discrimination. The revolutionary man and women are equals. That's some, yeah. The both sides argument is a good way to just make both sides angry, honestly. It's never a good stance to take. This is also one of the reasons I like Kaiserreich, because that kind of event, if I saw that in most mods, it would be a shit show. Like, it would not be handled in any way with tact or, you know. Also, Flanders, strong. The Germans are pushing into France. The Russian Empire declared war on Germany. At least that'll hopefully sort of quell the tide of Germans that are rushing into France at the moment. Yeah, we have too many troops on the Canadian border. We don't need this many, but, I mean, where else are we gonna put them? Against the Mexicans? Maybe, but not yet. God damn, the, Canadians, just, will not let South America rest. The dust settles. As the revolution comes to a close, and victory seems to be in sight, we must now take stock and evaluate the state of the army comprehensively. Already proposals are flowing about this project or that, to enhance our military might. Okay, Beria is sweating. Hold on. So what are we researching next? Not infantry equipment yet. We will be doing medium tanks soon. So let's get a tank design company, I think. Oh, and also aircraft. Let's get the aircraft first. And we're gonna get a fighter manufacturer, and they're both good. Air attack, max speed, reliability, range. I want the range though, because we're doing fighters. And the fighters generally have very poor range. Makes it so we don't have to rely on heavy fighters for long-range missions, and can rely on heavy fighters mostly for naval stuff. Heavy fighters are way more expensive to produce, though they are also way stronger, from what I can tell. Let's have a look at casualties in the war with Germany and stuff here. Well, this is the Russian-German war, which isn't actually... It hasn't been going for that long. The Second Weltkrieg, German Empire has taken 2.38 million losses. Against the Communist France is only 900,000. Yeah, this sort of push, you can see it is costly. Portugal, part of the Entente, of course, which means that the French somehow have taken this. I'm very confused about this territory here. But yeah, the United Britain have taken 700,000 as well, or almost 800,000 now. You can see the losses here. The Reichspakt have taken twice the losses of the Communards. But such is the cost of such an aggressive push here, which could in fact be beaten back now that the Germans are fighting a two-front war, the eternal nightmare for any member of the German military staff, any sort of, or general staff, any German military planner always has this phantom lurking in the back of his mind, like, what the fuck do we do if there is a two-front war? As far as I know, I don't actually know the, well, basically, since the 1870s, like, since Prussia's war with France, the argument, or the dilemma has been, like, at the forefront of German military thinking. The solution, obviously, is just to not fight one of the sides, or not, you know, step on their toes, but that's obviously not a realistic proposal in 1870, when the French and the Prussians, later Germans, hate each other, and the... oh god, this is good. And the... yeah, and later on with, you know, the whole Hitler thing. Let's, I want to start the Second Constitutional Convention so we can get into this war, I think, but we do want to get this shit so we can mass-produce ships. This gives us a minus 15% production cost on a bunch of stuff, which would help us build up the navy that we need in order to fight all these nations. Though we do have a god-tier industry, so it's going to happen eventually anyways. Let's start the Second Constitutional Convention. This is going to be important. This is where we make most of the decisions regarding how we're going to shape our nation for the future. And I'm looking forward to doing that in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. We're close to the 30-minute mark. I do need to get out of here. So, again, thank you so much for watching. If you would like, you can find me on Twitch, where I stream live every now and then. You can find a link to that in the description down below. I'm streaming a Democratic Japan game at the moment. And in Kaiserreich, of course. And also, if you would like to support me financially, you can do so on Patreon. Don't have to, of course. And if you would like, we do have a small, tight-knit, nice Discord community that you can join by following the link in the description down below. All I ask is that you play nice and, you know, don't try to start shit. As some are wont to do. But yeah, that's about it. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys later, as we continue the revolution.